thank you for the invitation. My name is Jaume Martorell. Actually, I am the co-founder of Maüa Chocolates. It's a young company here in Mallorca, in Spain, that we work in a bean-to-bar chocolate factory. But also, from the last 2 years, I am the president of the Bean-to-Bar Spanish Association here in Spain. That there are more than 40 small companies doing bean-to-bar. And also I am a consultant in cacao and chocolate. Yeah. Well, it's a good question. Yeah, EUDR for companies as our company, as Maüa Chocolates, is not easy. Yeah, because we are a small company that the type of companies as us usually work with importers in the case of the purchasing of cacao. Then the first step that we did is to try to be close of our suppliers that in Europe mainly, and work with them that he can explain us how they are working to achieve all the rules that the EUDR is putting on the table. Yeah, but mainly we are very worried in terms of course of traceability. But the most of the providers that we have said us that they was in the last month working in all the points that EUDR is doing that. And also another worry is how the each country in Europe will manage the control of the end product, because in the end we are chocolate makers and we sell bars, bonbons, etc. that of course contain cacao. But our worry and is also a question, because in the moments the countries don't know how to apply that. Then it's a bit the concern that we have, that how we will manage the traceability internally in our factories to show to the authorities that this cacao that we are using is accomplished the law. No, this is the most important topic in our opinion. We are agreeing in the sector that the opportunities are there, of course, because if you can show to the clients, to our consumers, that the cocoa that you are using is free of deforestation, I think is a big step. Yeah, and in our opinion, this law and these rules are really good for the sector. Yeah, is a good point. But our worry the challenge in our opinion is in the origin, because in the origin is more difficult to advance. There are a small farmer. Usually the cacao that we work, the bean-to-bar sector, is small farms or small cooperatives. Yeah, the very specialty of fine cocoa. Then for these companies or these farmers is very difficult to achieve all the info that the EUDR is asking. Yeah, it's very difficult to obtain technology to achieve that. For me, the big challenge is how we can help all the value chain, the origin, the farmers and the cooperatives or the exporters to achieve that. Yeah. And then I know that there are a lot of people, a lot of actors that they are working on that. But for me, the big challenge, because I think here in the side of the consumers, if there are clear rules when the law arrives to each country, I think that is easier to implement. It's true that the big point in the EUDR is the traceability and the sustainability in the origin. Then for this reason, I think that we need to put all the efforts, all the value chain, and of course the big player has need the commitment of the big players, because the big players buy a huge percentage of the cacao worldwide. Then it is a reality that we need that they put money or put programs to help that. I know that they are doing that in the moment, but in my opinion is is this reality that how the European Union, how to coordinate also with the authorities in each origin, in each country, for example, in Peru, in Ecuador, in Nicaragua, to implement programs for the to talk in the same language, because this is the most is another challenge. Sorry to go again into that, but is how we can talk in the same language and how this can be translated to the consumer. Yeah, for me is very important. Well, as I mentioned in the beginning, we are talking, and we did a lot of meetings with the main provider that we have in the case of in my company, but also in the bean to bar sector in Spain. We had different meetings with I can mention with Silva Cacao and Crafting Markets and Uncommon, etc. The big the part of the most provider that we have. Then we have in parallel different meeting that how we can support in our experience the value chain that we have. Yeah, for example, a very quick example. If I buy, for example, in Maüa, the most part of the cacao that we use is cacao from Nicaragua in Guaslala from the Cooperativa Cacao Nica. Then we are in contact with the Cooperativa and also through Silva to try to understand how we can accomplish with this cacao the EUDR. Yeah? Then we have different meetings, and the idea is to see if Silva, of course, and putting another actors, because for example, these cooperatives sell to another companies as Rita Sport, for example, and others, and how we can work together to try to put all the efforts to have all the points on the table for accomplish that. Yeah, then it's a little bit more that networking by the moment, and of course, the idea is to how this can be translated in a program or in a project with money to implement that. We are not using as a company because we are very small, but as I mentioned, we know that this is the step that we need to do. We know that our first providers, the company that I mentioned before, they are working to develop a kind of tool to do that. And of course, we need to do that because it's the most requirement that the EUDR need. You know, you need to put all the Gs and show to the European Union that your farm is not deforested for the last years. No? Then is a tool that we need to use. Yeah, in this meeting that I mentioned before is part of the work that we are doing, which is the best system to do that. But it's true that in our role that as small chocolate makers is more our provider that has the leadership in this topic. I am a little bit skeptical because my afraid sincerely and very transparent is that there will be a rule to make more bureaucracy, more papers for the farmers, and in the end, in the origin can be certain lies, that for example, farmer cross cacao between them because this farm is not deforested and the farm closed and dead. Then in a global answer, for me, the rule and the law is really good. Yeah, I think it's in the model that the European Union want for the citizens and for the democracy. But in the long term, I see that if the governments and the European Union and the governments in the origin don't create a very easy and transparent system to do that, can be another requirement more to achieve, as I mentioned in the beginning, bureaucracy that not to help to the farmer. This is my afraid. I hope that the long-term result can be very important. Almost, I think, for West Africa, I think is the most important topic. No, I think if the big players achieve to develop this model in a good way, in with all the actors, with a good networking and with practical tools, I think will be great for the sector. But as I mentioned, I am a little bit skeptical at the moment. Yes. I would talk now as a Bean to Bar Spanish Association. We had or we participate in a conference in the Cámara de Comercio, is a commercial chamber here, that mentioned how we will be the resolutions and applications of this law in the future. But for us, by the moment, that we need from the governments and from the European Commission is to understand how will be implemented here the law. I talked a little bit in the beginning, but how this rule will affect the value chain since we buy from the end consumer, no? Because in this step we are there because we are chocolate makers, and we need to understand which is our responsibility on that, and how we can show to the European Commission and our consumers that our cocoa is free of deforestation, or I should accomplish the rule. No, in this moment there are a lot of lacks of this, and there aren't a lot of information. Clear information for these kind of actors. I think the big players are more clear because has big teams and have a lot of people or professionals working on that. And I know that the big players since the beginning created a team in the sustainability areas to develop this topic. But for the small chocolate maker as us, we need a little bit more clarifications about the implementation of the law in the future, or the next year, for the next months. We mentioned a little bit, but I think that we need to put all the efforts, governments, ministers of agriculture in the origin, the big players of the cacao and the traders that help mainly to the farmers, help in the way that of the cooperative or the exporter to help to at least to put all the farms in the G systems, and to try to put all the information in the right platform to read that. I think that in Europe, the people that stay here, if the governments put the clear instructions, we will do that because it's our obligation. But I think that the challenge will be to put the focus in the farmer, and to convince the local governments that this is a good way to produce cacao. This is for me very, very important.